Yes, hello. Um, I am an improvising cellist, and I'm going to delve in, with your permission, into a now pretty well established tradition of putting jazz chords to Bach, sometimes to creating controversy, but putting controversy aside, permit me to look at this fourth suite of Bach, the prelude. It goes through a lot of changes. And I'm going to actually take it from measure 59. So as you can see, I put chords, and I'm going to take it through to the resolution here, where it goes back to E flat major in measure 82. Okay, so to begin with, we have this D7 here. This is D7 flat 9. So if you would play it on the cello, so you got a D7 chord, right? But then with that flat 9, where we would use a harmonic minor of G. What's interesting is it goes down to the next chord, which will be a G minor. It uses the melodic minor, so it starts with a harmonic, and then when it goes down, it becomes melodic minor scale. And then we're going to resolve now to this chord, which is a G minor over a D, okay, for these two beats here. So if I were to finger it, that's how he's written it. Then after that, it goes to a A7 with a flat 9, with this really beautiful, juicy chord here that we play in that fashion, no? So if you would extract it, the chord from it. Okay, which then resolves to our D sus4 that resolves to 3. So the chord, as it comes down, resolves to our next chord, which is a G minor. And there's two measures of G minor here, with a little indication that maybe there's a dominant approach to it on the D7 here with this F sharp. So we had gone through the 4 resolution to G minor. With that little introduction of a little bit of D7, going back to C minor. So what happens now? Yeah, you can say here what's happening here. We have. I would almost want to put an A flat here and make it a B flat 7 just for a second, but I'm interjecting. So the result would be G minor. I'm probably taking it a bit too far, but anyways, that was G minor. That now resolves to a A7 over G, right? What's interesting here, the spelling, of course, you don't right away see it with because there's no C sharp, but yeah, there is a C sharp. It's a D flat. So the spelling, and when you first see it, you don't really think of it as A7 until you hear it. You say, oh, this is the dominant chord, and so you come to the conclusion that it is an A7 over G. And it has these chords over their 7th are interesting because it's a series. There's 2 major 6. Okay, so that G, that A7 over G, where does it go to now? It goes 1/2 step up to an A flat here, which then it's a, well, we would call it a what do you call it, una resolución tramposo, they would say in Spanish. We're going from A7 all the way to F minor. But what helps us guide us is, of course, this movement from this G up to a half step to an A flat. So we're coming from this A7 flat 9. That resolves to our next chord, which will be that F minor I was talking about over A flat. So you would have this kind of a pattern of holding of the finger with the minor third in the bass. And then you take it out from there. And that next chord, then we go, that A flat takes us up to an A natural, which now, we're making the minor into a major, but it's dominant. It's over its A. Okay, so that is our F7. We have an F7 with a flat 9 on the top, the G flat. Okay, and that takes us then to resolution B flat. Okay, now here's some interesting things that are happening here. I just say it's B flat basically because these first two notes determine B flat. So what is this chromaticism here? Well, I just look at it. Yeah, okay, a double chromatic approach to the root of the chord here. Okay, so we have a third here. So once we get here, this becomes like a flat 9 sound because the A flat is introduced. Okay, that makes us come to the feeling of B flat 7. Okay, so the result would be, we were coming, so as I said before, with F7 flat 9 over its A. Then that resolves to this B flat chord I was talking about. Also with this double chromatic approach. Okay, now this C flat here. Okay, now we're really so they're insisting on that flat 9. And then we want to go to our resolution, E flat minor. Okay, this whole set, these two measures are E flat minor. And there's this little introduction of this flat 9 here, which is going to make me feel a little bit dominant, but as I said, I'm probably pushing it. But anyways, the result would be, we're coming from that B flat 7, right? Okay, so that's E minor, so 1, 1, 2. If you want to make it a 7th, you would do 1, 1, 1, 2, 2. To make it more jazzy, whatever you want to call it. And then we have that little flat 9. Okay? So that's that little suggestion perhaps of an E flat 7. That takes us to our next chord, which is an A flat minor. It stays for a nice 2 measures on A flat minor. And we'll come again to this. So is it Dorian? I guess it would be, no? So A flat minor, right? And then that A flat minor takes us to a 1, A flat 1, then we go to the 6 if you want to look at it that way. But anyway, what the chord here is at F7 over, I didn't write it here, but in principle over its 5th, right? So that would be that. So this is that. There's also double usage of major 6. So if you do it from the 5th of the chord, you have that sound of a D7 over its 7th. But that's pushing it too far once again. But anyway, so the result is an F7. And then goes the next measure, We have an F7 with an E flat in its bass. Okay, so we were coming from our F7 flat 9. Then it continues on the F7 flat 9 with its F, with the coming from the first note would be the seventh of F7. So that all these two measures are F7 over F7 flat 9 over its E flat. So what's interesting now, he jumps to using the aprovechando, taking advantage of this F7 over E flat. He uses the same root to take us to these two measures of E flat minor. So E flat minor would be this on a chord, right? Okay, so yeah. Okay, E flat minor. Now, what happens is one of the most fascinating things for me is, okay, look at the spelling of this. When you first look at the spelling of this, you got to think about it. What is it? Well, I've come to the conclusion that it's an E7 sharp 11 over G sharp. So where are our notes? Okay, this would be the third, the root, and the fifth, right? Okay, it goes on here, goes up, and then we get up to this C flat would be the fifth of E. It would be like a B natural, and then we have that this little sharp 11 here. Okay, so that would sound, so the chord in itself, the E7, the E over third. Okay, that's that B flat I was talking about. Which in its turn, of course, is a tritone substitution of the next chord that is coming, B flat 7, okay, with a little bit of a sus kind of feel here that at the end of our E7 here that brings us to a feeling of sus resolving to the third of B flat. So the effect is to finally get to glorious, and it stays in E flat for quite a while with well, to the end. You know the piece, but so yeah, this is just a bit of a game that I think we all like to do sometimes with the music we have available for us. Thank you very much for looking on, and I'd like to thank the cameraman, Ivan Babinchak. So, well, have a pleasant day. Thank you.